All right, 9 ways to save thousands of dollars. This is not some sort of weird, like, get rich quick investment. These are actual practical ideas that you can use. I'd be really curious to get your feedback on this, especially if you have additional ideas which aren't on my list, which you probably do. I'd like to create a community where we can actually share those ideas and work towards saving some additional money, because the little things do add up. So number one, I did a consolidation here first with the first few ideas, and I call it the little stuff. So I don't buy Ziploc bags. I use like reusable plastic containers. Some of them are even from like takeout places like Panda. I just don't buy a lot of Ziploc bags. So that's one thing I basically don't purchase. I buy toilet paper in bulk to get discounts. I'm part of that. I don't think it's an official thing, but the hashtag never again thing, where during COVID, when we had a hard time finding toilet paper, I always like to keep quite a bit in stock, and so I buy it in bulk anyway. But you save money buying certain things like that in bulk. It's not a huge amount of money, but it does add up. There's a joke that's been kind of going around about people saying that, oh, I stopped buying, coffee, and I stopped eating out as much, and now I have $500,000 of in the bank in 6 months. I understand that it doesn't necessarily lead to huge savings immediately, but these little things do add up to be some pretty significant amounts. One more in this category. These are just some examples. I rarely buy paper towels. I keep hand towels around the house. Paper towels are really not that cheap, and I used to buy a lot of them, but I've kind of more or less cut those. I do buy them occasionally, but I use them sparingly. By the way, if it looks like the upside down out here, there's a lot of like cottonwood seeds and stuff flying around, so you're going to see a few of those in this video. So the little things, I figure I probably save somewhere between $120 and $200 a year just on the little things. And those are 3 examples. Okay, so number 2, I do make my own coffee at home over 90% of the time. I figure it costs me about $25 a month to make it myself. That includes the actual coffee, that includes filters, that includes creamer and milk, those types of things. So if I were to buy the type of coffee that I like, I do like Americanos. That's my choice. That's my coffee of choice, espresso, whatever you want to call it. If I were to buy that weekly, 5 days a week, by the end of the month, it's probably going to cost me about $90 a month. So I did some math on that. I save between $650 and $700 a year on coffee. I do like to get one once a month. And so when I did the math on that, that saves me between $650 and $700. So I'm already up to like $750, $800 of savings per year. Okay, and you're looking at that and you're just like, well, it's not a lot of money. Well, let's keep going down the list. 3. Sorry, there's going to be planes flying by also. A lot of float planes flying by today. 3. I cut subscriptions and I go month to month. Meaning, it's summertime. I don't watch a lot of TV anyway. The only subscription that I'm paying for this summer is Disney Plus. I wanted to watch The Acolyte. The show, okay, I got to keep watching it. Don't really have a full review on that yet. But it cost me $7.99 a month. That is literally the only subscription I have going right now. I'm a big NFL fan. I do like getting Sunday ticket. It's expensive. It's like $400. So during the summer, I basically cut any remaining subscriptions that I have and basically just watch YouTube. I get HBO Max as part of my phone package. So $7.99 a month. So I did research on this, and the research tends to say that people on average spend between $900 and $2,400 a year on subscriptions. So the way I look at it, if I get the Sunday ticket and periodically get a subscription here or there, I save a minimum of $400 a year in this category. I just don't need a lot of subscriptions. Even like things like Spotify, I like the free version. I'm okay with the ads. I'm fine with it. But there's that minimum of $400 savings. I also found it interesting that the research that I did on multiple sites basically had said that people underestimate the amount of money that they spend on subscriptions. Meaning that people oftentimes keep subscriptions and keep paying for them even though they're not using them. They just don't really realize. I thought those were some interesting stats. So subscriptions is my third piece. 4, online grocery shopping to monitor spending. It's hard to keep track of spending money on groceries unless you do one of two things. You do the online grocery shopping, or you use cash envelopes. Ramsey Solutions, they always talk about cash envelopes. I don't have a ton of time, especially, I mentioned before, I'm an educator, so I don't have a lot of time during most of the year to just be monitoring all this cash and doing all this stuff. So online works for me, and I use my debit card. USA Today says that people spend between $476 and $868 a month for 2 people. So obviously that's going to change the more people you have. But in my situation, it's 2. It's me and a dependent. So $476 to $868 a month. My budget is $600 a month, so I'm above that low end. However, let's tie in number 5 with this. Minimize going out to eat. According to Ramsey Solutions, people spend $300 a month on going out to eat on average. So if I add up that $300 with the $476, that's $776, I figure that I save about $175, $176 off that total on that average, which equates to about $2,100 a year on going out to eat and grocery shopping. $2,100. See, this stuff is starting to add up. You're already talking about, over $3,000 in savings. Number 6, I substitute higher priced items at the store. I like steak. I haven't ate a lot of steak in the last year or 2. It's gone up quite a bit. I'm not denying that inflation exists. I want to focus on what we're going to do about it, like on a personal level. So, instead of buying steak, I buy pork chops or hamburger. Instead of buying that name brand cereal, I buy the store brand for half the price. Is there a difference in those items? Yeah. I just don't want to spend a ton of money on the things that have gone up significantly. I've also been noticing recently that prices have been dropping on a lot of items. I got a call from a family member yesterday saying salmon was like $6.99 or $7.99 where they were at. It's down from like $13 a pound. There's a lot of dropping prices on groceries and a lot of rollbacks. If you're talking Walmart, places like that, there's a lot of sales. And I haven't even got into doing coupons or anything like that. If you got some good tips for coupons, share them, because that would be something I would definitely consider. I don't have a ton of time, but I would definitely consider that. So substitutions. 7, I shop my car insurance. This goes for homeowners insurance too, actually. If you own your home and you pay homeowners insurance, shopping those, whether it's yearly, every other year, whatever the case may be, I found that when I shopped mine, I saved about $200 a year. Again, same coverages, just a $200 savings for making a couple phone calls. So shopping for car insurance and homeowners insurance. That's going to depend on where you're at too. I'm in Alaska. If I lived in Florida, that would be a lot more difficult. My homeowners insurance in Alaska is about a quarter of the price of what my friends are paying in Florida. It's expensive down there because of hurricanes. So, but shopping car insurance, shopping homeowners insurance, definite ways that you can save actual money. And again, for me, it's typically about $200 a year. Last time I did it anyway. 8, avoiding car notes. So I haven't had a car payment in about 3 years. According to Lending Tree, in the first quarter, data showed the average car payment is about $735 a month. You start doing the math on that, you're talking over $8,500 a year if you don't have a car payment. That is significant. You put that into an investment calculator at 5%, because a lot of high yield savings accounts are paying 5%. You do that over the average, lifespan of a car loan, 6-7 years. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars that you're going to save. Depending on the length of the term, it could be like $70-some thousand that you're saving over a 7-year time frame. So just think about, with the interest, of course. So just think about that. And you say, well, I have to have a car. Okay, let's say that you save $70,000. over 7 years. Let's say you spent $20,000 of that on a vehicle. You save $50,000 just by avoiding a car note and not paying that interest and not paying those high car payments. Huge way to save money. I'll tell you one thing, I'd much rather invest what I would have into a car note into an investment account or even a high yield savings account than send it to the bank every month. That's for sure. Number 9, last one. Avoid credit card interest. Did some research on this. According to Motley Fool, people on average spend about $1,600 per year on credit card interest. I can't verify it with 100% accuracy because there might have been a slip up at some point. I don't think I've ever paid a dime of credit card interest. And I'll tell you something right now. If I had credit card debt, I would get that paid off as fast as I could. I'd work 2-3 jobs, whatever I had to do to pay that off. Because these credit card interest rates are 20+%. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily bad to have a credit card. If you feel like you can't control your spending and you can't have a credit card, then maybe it's a good thing to not have it. Ramsey Solutions always talks about not having a credit card. Cut them up. Pay them off, cut them up. I tend to differ with them a little bit because I like the rewards that come along with the rewards cards. But I can handle those credit cards and I have a budget. But there's another $1,600 savings. Add all these things up. You know, when you factor in those car notes and stuff, I mean, you could be talking a savings of $10,000 a year plus by looking at these 9 ways to save money. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any additional ideas that you could contribute? And if you'd consider subscribing, that would be awesome. I have a bunch of upcoming videos coming up where, you know, I'm going to share some of the things that I like to do hobby-wise. I'm actually wearing a shirt, you know, the top shirt, of things that you can do that are just part of your own hobbies when you've got your personal finances together. And so I've got some sports cards videos that I'm going to be looping into the channel as well. So appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.